Looks like we have a glitch in the system and we're going to have a Matrix 5. After the last movie, I could not believe the news that we were going to have a Matrix 5 movie. Apparently, someone said they have a good storyline for it and Warner Brothers want to run with it. This time, the sisters are not going to be directing it and they are only going to be executive producers of the movie. Drew Goddard, who screen wrote The Martian, will be the director. The Resurrections movie was ran into the ground, so this new one has got nowhere to go but up. It's not clear who from the Matrix universe, Keanu Reeves, Carrie Ann have anchored all of the prior movies as Neo and Trinity, while Mateen, Jonathan Groff, Neil Patrick, Priyanka joined in the most recent iteration will return. Bringing back the second generation players doesn't excite me. I didn't really like Neil Patrick in his role. He felt out of place and didn't feel like he belonged in the Matrix world. Mateen felt out of place too, just because we're all so used to Lawrence Fishburne as Morpheus. Hell, all of them felt out of place. The whole meta thing, especially with Jonathan Groff's role, didn't feel right. I honestly don't see Keanu and Carrie Ann returning to this movie. And if they do return, it might be some kind of plot twist where you see them revealed at the end of the fifth movie. Drew came to Warner Brothers with a new idea that we all believe would be an incredible way to continue the Matrix world by honoring what Lana and Lily began over 25 years ago, offering a unique perspective based on his own love of the series and characters. The entire team at Warner Brothers Discovery is thrilled for Drew to be making this new Matrix film, adding his vision to the cinematic canon the Wachowskis spent a quarter of the century building here at the studio. From my point of view, I think it is better to have a new director and new story writer do this movie because the Wachowskis no longer have the juice to push this franchise forward. Part 1 was the best, Part 2 was good, Part 3 was just okay, and you already know about Part 4. This kind of reminds me of how they did the Karate Kid franchise, a group of guys who loved the Karate Kid world and decided to make Cobra Kai and extend that world. And they did an awesome job and was able to bring out 5 seasons in the Cobra Kai Karate Kid universe. This is exactly what they need. So I read this article and fanboys were crying about if the Wachowskis weren't directing it, they were not going to watch it. Did you see the last movie? It's time to pass on the baton. They are no longer passionate about it. They no longer have that creative writing process for the franchise. Sometimes it's best to move on to with other people who can bring it back to life properly. Why in the hell would I watch a Matrix movie not directed by a Wachowski? If it ain't Wachowski, I will not watch ye. A Matrix movie not being made by the Wachowski sisters is effing pointless. You can't call yourself a fan of the series while not understanding what's so wrong with the Matrix movie not made by them. I think if you aren't one of the Wachowski sisters, you should probably not effing write or direct the Matrix movie, but that's just my opinion. If the Wachowski sisters aren't involved, we don't need this. If it isn't the sisters, it isn't the Matrix. Finally, somebody with some sense. I think this is good for the Matrix. I know it's not a Wachowski doing it, but a new director creative was inevitable and maybe beneficial to the health of the franchise. Maybe. I am very confused why everyone is against this because the Wachowski sisters aren't involved. Goddard has a great track record to his name. So as you can clearly see, the opinions are mixed about this. Even though Part 4 left a bad taste in my mouth, let's see how they bring this franchise back to life. I'm sure 90% of the fans will have low expectations for Part 5. Let's not hold our breath on if they can do a good job with the new storyline direction. Leave your comments down below and tell us how you feel about The Matrix 5. And don't forget to hit the subscribe button to hang out and watch this possible train wreck together.